Hello there. What is going on, everybody? It has been Legion week this week with AMG dropping pre-order after pre-order after pre-order after pre-order, and the list goes on and on. They're dropping a massive amount of pre-orders this week and dropping little spoiler articles for each of them. It's honestly, I love having new content and new things to talk about, but this is pushing the boundaries of overload. So much so that I think the only thing left right now that I'm expecting is the Separatists, which will probably drop later today or tomorrow. Might end up covering those over the weekend, so maybe be like a Monday morning article. Frankly, a lot of people are already reading the articles anyway. If you're coming here, maybe you haven't seen the articles, maybe you haven't followed the social media drops, or you just want to hang out and talk about them. And that's fine too. I'd love to have you guys stick around. A few days left to enter to win that $25 Amazon gift card giveaway. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my other videos. Somebody mentioned in the comments, they said, why do you always say leave a comment on this or one of my videos? As if this isn't actually one of my videos. And I wish you hadn't said that, because now I can't stop thinking about it, and so now I'm like going to be really self-conscious every time I say it. I've been saying that for years. Exact same line for years. And I don't know what I'm going to do. It's like when somebody says, you know, like somebody just smashes the glass, and now I can't even think about my words the same anymore. You know, is Star Wars Legion even a game, or is it a way of life? I don't even know what's true and what's false anymore. Sometimes somebody can shatter your reality, and then you wake up from the Matrix. Did I just take the blue pill or the red pill? I don't know. It's really weird. Anyway, let's get into it. We got a lot of stuff. They dropped like 6 new pre-order items in here. I chose this image because it's kind of showcasing just how much crazy, wild, and crazy stuff in here. Some of it's really cool. Some of it I think you can definitely pass on. So let's break down the good, the bad, and the ugly from the recent pre-orders, right? Let's start with the custom. Oh, also, there's a typo that we're gonna look at today. You let me know. It's a kind of a big typo. One of those things that might even get you in trouble with licensing. I don't think it will. I think they'll fix it easily enough. But you let me know how big you think of a typo it is. You'll know it when we get there. We're not there yet. Okay. We've got, this is a cool one. The customizable Rebel Officer and Agent. This one is a very cool. Again, it's not exactly a reprint, but it's kind of a reprint in that it's kind of taking the place of your Rebel Officer, right? You don't have the Rebel Officer as a commander anymore. You can still use that model as a leader, as a personnel upgrade to go into a core unit or something like that, but you can't use him as a standalone character anymore. And these are taking the place of that. It's definitely an upgrade, but it doesn't feel as much like an all new unit. But at the same time, it's an upgrade, and it's an upgrade I feel is done really well across the factions. The way they're rolling these out and giving you multiple ways to build them as either commanders or operatives is a really cool thing. I love the gun that's on this guy. It definitely gives me Baze Malbus vibes. It really gives me Baze Malbus vibes. And seeing some of the other stuff that comes in this expansion, you give me even more like Chirrut, Imwe, and Baze Malbus vibes. We got that vibro axe in there, and we got this. I don't even know what type of gun that is, but it just makes me think, man, build one melee and build one with that gun. It's kind of like Chirrut and Baze, which you could probably proxy them if you don't want to pick this one up too. And that'd be cool. Well, hopefully they do announce some more of that cool stuff. How are Baze Malbus and Chirrut Imwe not in this game yet? I mean, we have like 17 different ways to get them into the game. I don't know. I think they're coming though. I think they're coming. Let's go ahead and look at some of this stuff. We've got multiple different heads, head sculpts. We've got some alien heads. We've got there's gonna be 2 torsos. We're gonna have 2 different leg options. And again, over 20 different options here. We're seeing some of it right there. A pointy finger in there as well. This is gonna be a fun pack. Honestly, I think these packs, these customizable packs, are something that people may want to get 2 of. For whatever army you play, you may want to get 2 of. If you don't even play one of these armies, you may want to get at least one of them anyway, just to have some cool build options for your Star Wars role-playing games, for hobbying, and for kit bashing, and just for having fun. I mean, I'm less about winning and losing in tournament meta, and I'm a little bit more about having a good time and treating my miniatures games a little bit like a game of show and tell. That being said, I still want to play well, and I love the idea of playing well and winning, and I certainly will try, and I like to think strategically and all of that stuff too. But I think I lean more towards the let's have a good time, let's have fun aspect of it. And these guys, they really sing that song to me. You know what I'm saying? So they look really cool. We are also getting the Heroes of the Rebellion pack. This one was a pretty cool pack. Nothing that I need out of here, but new sculpts for everything, which is cool. You're getting the Luke Skywalker that comes in the starter. Okay. You're getting Jedi Luke, so you're getting Commander and Operative versions of Luke. Again, these are things that are already out, but that's cool. You're getting an upgraded Leia, which Leia had a kind of Leia and Han both in here didn't have the best sculpts. I'm a little disappointed they had an opportunity to go with a new Leia and still went with Endor Leia. I'm sure that there's reasons to do that, so this way she can match the other dudes and everything, and it makes sense. But man, I think people, I mean, there's a reason there's so many different Leias aftermarket. And I'm not talking about like, Hutt's Palace, Hutt Slayer Leia. I'm not talking about something like that. But I would love to see a Leia in white. Whether it be, episode 4, like Cinnamon Bun Leia, or even better, perhaps, like, the ceremony at Yavin 4 where she's handing out the medals and stuff, and she's kind of regal and in that kind of leadership sort of that centerpiece, like that's a cool version of Leia. Or Hoth Leia. I like Hoth Leia a lot. I painted my Leia to be kind of in a white outfit to be a little more Hothy, but still, this is a good looking Leia. It looks good from the picture. Pictures aren't always the same. Sometimes the pictures are painted worse and don't do the model justice. Sometimes they're overpainted, and but I think the star of this pack has got to be big man in the middle. Chewie. I love that Chewie. I love the growl. I love the way they painted the face. A lot of contrast around the face with the deep shading in the eyes, really bringing out the brow there. It's a great paint job on that Chewie. And I love Wookiees, and I've been looking for an excuse to get another. I might pick this one up just for Chewie. Maybe not right away, but it's cool because since I'm probably not getting the starter anyway too, it might be kind of cool to get the other Lukes. Luke's had a lot of different versions, so this is a cool pack, and you got a lot of heroes in here, so that's cool. Also, it'd be fun. This looks like a fun pack to pick up. All right, the AA5 speeder. It's a good truck. They've got the new side gunner as that free option. I don't know if that card is going to come in here or not, but yeah, they get the AA5 speeder truck, and then the Empire. They dropped a lot of stuff today. We're getting the customizable Imperial officer and agent. Yeah, this one is really cool too. Less cool, perhaps, than some of the other stuff, but still cool. We've got capes, which I like that. You can go with that Krennic kind of ISB thing. Paint your dudes in white and gray and black. You don't have to put them in green like you see here. A lot of cool options. You got like batons, you got pistols, you got male and female heads. You've got kind of the army, the army helms, which are a little bit more like General Veers or like the Mimban trooper kind of things going on there. You got a droid you can give them. That looks cool, and again, maybe even more options than we see here. It's pretty cool. I think especially with Andor Season 2, some of your body armor and helmet options and some of that type of stuff is going to be in high demand. This one may sell out because of some of that demand. I can see some people maybe wanting to buy, like, do a whole a whole proxy army of like, hey, I'm gonna have a whole unit of stormtrooper or riot control troopers and swap them out for like some of these guys, you know, or something like that. I could just see people doing stuff like that. It could be fun. It could be fun. And we're also getting a Darth Vader and General Veers pack. I will point out something in this pack. There doesn't appear to be an alternate sculpt for Operative Vader. Operative Vader is still a thing, but this is Commander Darth Vader, the same Darth Vader that you get in the core set. You're not getting an alternate Vader. You're not getting two Vaders like you'd get two Lukes. And I can't say that I have a problem with that. I think Darth Vader has so many sculpts as is. I mean, what do you need a separate model for Operative Vader and Commander Vader? It's the same guy. He doesn't really change his costume. I know somebody out there is like, yes, he does. There's differences between Episode 4, Episode 5, and Episode 6. Those differences are like so negligible. Like, they're not like massive differences that warrant like, oh, is the shoulder pad a little shinier? Okay, paint it that way then. You know, the helmet's a little shiny. Yeah, the helmet's a little duller in Episode 4, and it's a little shinier in Episode 5. Things like that. Then you have like a little bit of the red glow in the eye lenses. You know, and you know, like there's some changes, but those all boil down to your paint job. And if you're going to even get to that level of detail, and not everybody will. Some folks definitely will though. So just keeping that in mind, that if you're picking up a starter, you're buying this pack just for General Veers. Pretty much. Or maybe you want to do an alternate Vader. If you are looking to, again, take all those extra bits and work something out, then maybe this is, you know, an excuse to get an extra Vader. Maybe. I don't recommend it though. We have an objective pack. The 3D objective tokens. This is a pack I have some questions about. Like, what? And what? And wait a minute. Those are my three questions. What? What? And wait a minute. And I'll tell you why. Because they look to be different sizes. Objectives currently, again, maybe there's some new objectives coming out that are gonna, you know, change things up. Maybe that'll probably be a thing. But objectives are the same size, right? They're like that 2-inch, they're kind of the big circle. And a full playset is 8 of them. Granted, the missions that we have right now only call for 6, but then there's the side missions that can potentially add 2 more. So at most, you're going to need 8. However, there's only 4 in this box. So they kind of want you to buy... yes, you're looking at 10 tokens here. 4 big ones, and then it looks like 6 smaller ones that almost seem like their normal base size. Again, they don't give you exact measurements here. But, I mean, like, this top left one looks like it's a smaller base. These two are obviously the larger base, and these two are obviously a larger base. Then you got a smaller base, smaller base, smaller base, smaller base, smaller base. And the bases also look weird here. They look really weird because they look like they're kind of flat, like they're not elevated like normal stuff. I don't know if the picture was, you know, the images were kind of cropped out and they cut off the bottom of the bases, if the bases were the same color as the background, and you know, but like if you look at this picture, they look like they're resting like flat on the ground, so they're meant to be terrain rather than objectives, except for the 4 that are like objective sides. I mean, they call them objective tokens, so I wouldn't think that they're meant to be terrain. This is just a weird expansion. I'd love to like talk about this expansion with the folks who designed it. And I'm like, what are you going for with this? Tell me more. Why is there only 4 tokens in this pack when we need 8? Why not just put 8 in here? You know, because then they wouldn't be able to charge us. They'd have to charge more. I don't know. It's a weird one. But I think this is a cool one if you are into kit bashing and maybe making your own terrain and you wanted some of this stuff. Although I think if you were doing that, you might have just 3D printed stuff and gotten it for, you know, a fraction of the cost, because they're not cheap. Speaking of cost, let's go to the pre-order page and we'll look at these. All right, so we're going to start at we're going to go through everything again. Star Wars Legion and customizable Rebel officer an agent box. We got the box art here. We can see the backs of it all right here. The kind of stuff we've already looked at. So again, you're getting 2 miniatures. You're getting again 2 sets of legs, 2 torsos, everything to make 2 miniatures, and then some extra pieces too. So again, save those sprues. There's a lot of heads, a lot of arms and weapon options, a lot of cool stuff. From the description, it says the Rebel Alliance Imperial Officer and Agent Pack. Remember I told you we had a typo? I don't think it's cool to call rebels Imperial officers. That was definitely a typo. They had an intern type that up, and they made a whoopsie. Allows players to build 2 customized Rebel Alliance characters that can be used as either a commander or an operative when building Rebel armies. Rebel Alliance armies. But yeah, a Rebel Alliance Imperial officer and agent. I wonder if that might have even been an autocorrect. I don't know, but that's a funny one. I expect that to be changed. Maybe by the time you look at this. This is from the Asmodee pre-order page right here. So that's a funny thing to me. It's not a big deal. I hyped it up a little bit, but that's a funny one. And the reason why that's funny is, as typos go, like some kind of faction identity. You know how Lucasfilm is just like, oh, you have to pull Palpatine out of Legion, for whatever maybe he's too strong for the game. They're very there's I've heard stories about like they wouldn't allow people to be photographed officially, like for a website and for promotional materials, if they were like dressed up as Darth Vader playing Star Wars X-Wing, because Darth Vader doesn't play games, right? Like you could have somebody, who's dressed up as like a generic character, perhaps be photographed. In this is things that matter a little more at a convention like maybe Star Wars Celebration, where they always have a presence and stuff. But if somebody is in full costume as like Darth Vader, they can demo the game, but they can't be photographed, and unless it's by not officially. So you can't post that image to your website or social media and stuff like that, because again, the image of Darth Vader playing games, that's absurd. However, he can be in Fortnite, talking about all kinds of stuff. Like he can talk about Star Trek to you in Fortnite, which was really wild. That was crazy to me. Or Palpatine can be in there dancing with bunny slippers, but not in Legion. Anyway. So it's just funny. All right, let's move on. But before I do, this is what you're getting, right? Cool stuff. These are just 2 options. There's plenty more options. This is going to be a fun pack. $39.99. A little steep for 2 models. That's $20 a model. That's a little steep. But you're getting a lot of customization options. Also, these are new. So like none of this stuff is available for print and play. I will throw out yet. It might be available for print and play, especially as things get errated and changed. And they always put the cards up there. But I think if you want to use these in a tournament list, you probably have to at least pick up 1 box. But yeah, it's cool stuff. Not the cheapest per model, but you're getting very cool stuff. I love this path forward of having lots of extra bits and customization. I do hope that Atomic Mass continues to do this method in the future, especially even with generic troops. Give extra heads, give extra arm pose options, give us more options. That I think that can help this game. It can help players and take the hobby level and really increase their enjoyment of customizing their armies. I think that'd be a fun thing. This looks really cool. The Heroes of the Rebellion pack. Okay, how about this art? What are you? Luke, turn down the smolder, Luke. Dude, you look like a vampire in Star Wars, and I'm here for it. That's a cool picture. It's very Dracula, like Luke. And part of it is the red laser blasts that are going at him are almost lightsaber in length. So I think part of my brain saw Luke, and before I saw the saber above his head, I saw these things, and I'm like, whoa, is Luke got a red saber? Is this like some kind of Dark Empire thing? Because he's got the collar is kind of popped a little bit in there too. Like there's definitely a hint of like Luke is thinking about the dark side. He hasn't embraced it, but I think he's thinking about it a little bit in this picture, and he's just like, you're lucky I'm a good guy because I'm thinking about the things I could do to you if I were a bad guy. Yeah, it's anyway, it's a great picture. Love it. But yeah, so yeah, you're getting Luke, you're getting all these guys. This one's $69.99. This one's expensive. It's a lot for 7 minis. I mean, 5 minis. It's not a lot for 7 minis. It's a decent price for 7. It's still a little compared to like what you pay for like a Rebel Troopers or Stormtroopers box. It's very expensive. But also keep in mind, there's nothing like new in this box. So again, only get this if you really want it. I might wait for this to go on sale because again, I already have all of these guys. I don't really need any more. I wouldn't mind an extra Chewbacca. It'd be kind of fun. But I don't need it. So, and my Chewbacca's okay. He's a little shiny because I used too much Nuln Oil when I shaded him, and he ended up coming out shinier than I wanted to. And yeah, painting techniques refine over the years. AA5 speeder truck, $74.99. Now a big vehicle. Some might argue a centerpiece model. Not quite a centerpiece model, but kind of close to it as far as since Legion doesn't go that big with their models. The only thing I think is really a centerpiece model is probably the ATST. To me, seems like that's a centerpiece model. You could argue maybe the AAT for the Separatists is kind of a centerpiece model as far as recognizability and table presence, but this one's close to it. It's big. It's a lot bigger than the picture suggests. It's thick, it's long, it's chunky, and it's beautiful. Should edit that out. It's going to be taken out of context. We're going to keep going. But yeah, you're getting 2 unit cards in here. So this one is just weird to me because it says you're getting 2 unit cards. Obviously, you're getting the Shadow Collective, like the Merc version of it in here too, but it doesn't say that, right? So like, why don't they say that, right? It's very weird. 1 plastic miniature, 13 cards, token sheet. The other thing, this is where it says it. Also compatible. So all right, right after I say it doesn't say that, but yes, it does. Yes, it does. Okay, good. So you can use it as a Merc also. I feel like they should mention that on the outside of the box a little more visibly, but it is what it is. Okay, so yeah, we have that one. Our Imperial agent, customizable Imperial officer and agent. That one doesn't say that you're getting rebels, right? So they didn't do the typo there. Yeah, this one's also $39.99, and for 2 models with lots of extra bits and customizability. It's a cool box. They don't show the full back of the box on this one for some reason, so that's a thing. Then we go to the Vader and Veers character expansion. This one is $34.99. I feel like it's $34.99 for Veers. That's because frankly, folks, especially if your name is Franklin, or if your name is frankly, anybody buying this box already has Vader. I cannot even fathom a situation where somebody said, hey, I want to get into Legion. I'm not going to buy a starter at the tremendous value they are. Nope, not going to buy a starter. I'm going to buy like 3 Stormtrooper boxes, 2 Special Forces boxes, a vehicle box, and I'm going to need to get Vader too. Oh, and I also have to buy my dice, and I also have to buy my movement tools and all that other stuff. Like, come on. Really? No. Of course you're going to buy a starter. Whether you have the Galactic Republic the Galactic Civil War starter, or one of the new starters, or both, or even one of the Battle Force boxes or whatever, you've got Vader. Of course you do. So why they put only Vader and Veers in this box, but then you go back to like here where they have 5 rebels and 1 box, or at least maybe 4 because you're getting 2 different versions of Luke. All right, yeah, fine, but you're getting 5 models here. Granted, the price is a little more. Like, I get it. Like, they tried to make the prices kind of thereabouts, but in reality, it's not even a new sculpt of Vader. All right, it's the same Vader you're getting in the starter box. Um, maybe you aren't buying the new starter, but you do want the new Vader. I guess that's the thing. It's just weird that there's only 2 here, but it's $34.99. If that's for you, then check it out. To me, this one's a hard pass. Hard pass. Veers, I like Veers. He's a cool guy, but it's not like the sculpt is really like, he's not a character who's known for having an awesome sculpt. And then I've got so many Vaders already. I don't see that. If I were tempted to buy this guy, even for Vader, I would sooner go out and buy an Imperial starter, because it's only a little bit more, and you're getting loads of new Stormtroopers and Scout Troopers plus the Vader, and then all the extra stuff. Like that's the way to go if you wanted the new Vader. I wouldn't. Yeah, it's weird. That's weird to me. But let me know. Maybe I'm wrong. You can totally disagree with me, because I am just a dude with opinions, and sometimes those opinions are like missing crucial information, lacking crucial information. For example, in yesterday's video, I was saying we haven't seen the Marksman card yet for the clones, and I was very quickly corrected. Yes, we have. And I was like, oh yeah, I just forgot. And so yeah, you know, we have seen the Marksman card. And so what you know, sometimes I'm wrong. You know, so but feel free to let me know if you disagree. Being on the internet, you will easily learn that you'll be wrong a lot more than you thought you were, and people will let you know. So you gotta have thick skin. You gotta be able to self-humiliate a little bit. All right. So, speaking of humiliation, who thought this was an idea? 3D objective tokens with only half the objectives you need to play the game. Again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe these are all the same size, and my eyes aren't working correctly, because they're clearly 4 big ones and 6 little ones. I'm guessing, very much guessing, that there's new battle. Of course, there's new battle cards in the works. I'm sure they've talked about that, right? I'm guessing the new battle cards are going to be featuring small objectives in addition to the big objectives. So many so that we need this whole pack of them. I don't know, because right now it seems like they're just like terrain or scatter terrain pieces or something like that. Except for the fact that objectives aren't terrain. They do provide heavy cover, but you can, like, they're not really terrain. It's an objective. Like, you can't land on it, right? You can't stand on an objective. It's weird stuff. But yeah, so here's what you're getting, right? You got the 4 big ones, the 6 little ones. Yeah, 4 of them are POIs and 6 are assets, right? You need 8 POIs. You need it, so they only put half of what you need in here. And the thing is, it's almost $50, $44.99. So $100 for your POI tokens. That's a big deal. What's an asset miniature? What do you? I've got to go back and look at all my cards again, because I haven't needed those for anything in this new edition. Like, you would have needed these for like the old Legion 1.0 or the FFG version of Legion, but not the AMG Legion. I don't. Maybe it's something for the new cards, or maybe I am just forgetting cards that I have that I probably just never get picked, because that does happen. We fall victim to our own metas sometimes, and you fall like into patterns. That's one of the reasons why some of the old objectives always got taken, because they were preferable and people got comfortable with them, and maybe they were, you know, best systematically in the meta, and you know, it's easy to forget, like, oh yeah, there's that one that also has this other token. I don't know. You have to get 2 of these basically if you want to play set. And frankly, there's frankly, how many times have I said frankly in this video? There's people have already been making POI tokens. I bought some on like Etsy for, I think, like $15 for a full play set. It was amazing. So why am I going to spend $100 for one? You know, and mine are really cool Pokeballs. You know, the way that God intended for Pokeballs to be on Star Wars. You know, well, that's at least how AMG initially revealed them, because they looked like Pokemon balls. So I'm sticking with that. It's a little bit funny. It's a little bit rock and roll, because if you want to be the very best, like no one ever was, yeah, you know. All right, I don't want to get a DCMA strike, so that's all the stuff they dropped for us last night. Let's move on. I hope you guys don't hate my dad jokes and my terrible humor too much. It makes me laugh, and that's part of the reason that I do it. I don't know. I think when you have kids, sometimes you do jokes for the sake of jokes because they used to laugh at everything when they were real little, and then they grow up and then they stop laughing. Like even my youngest now doesn't even laugh at my jokes anymore. He got embarrassed by me for the first time the other day, so that tells me I'm doing something right. Right, well, I'm gonna let you guys go. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are amazing and out of this world, and I will talk to you soon. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. So say we all. You can't take the sky from me. The spice must flow. Hakuna Matata. And always wash your socks.